It was a quiet Sunday afternoon at the Kelce family home in Kansas. The house, usually filled with the chaos of football game preparations, now rested in rare silence. Upstairs, Travis was asleep, recovering from the exhaustion of practice. Downstairs, Donna Kelce sat alone on the couch, her hands resting on a box of old photo albums she had kept hidden for years. For weeks, she had been planning this moment. She had watched Taylor carefully whenever Travis tried to open up about his feelings. Taylor's love was undeniable, but she often seemed uncertain, hovering, worried, not knowing how to break through Travis's protective walls. Donna knew why. Her son had learned from childhood to hide his vulnerability, to always appear strong, even when he was hurting. That afternoon, Donna made a decision. She called softly to Taylor, who had arrived earlier with a plate of homemade cookies and was scrolling through emails on her phone. "Taylor, honey, come sit with me for a moment," Donna said, patting the seat beside her. Her tone carried a weight that immediately caught Taylor's attention. She set her phone aside and sat down, her brows furrowed with curiosity. Donna looked her in the eyes and said gently, "I want to show you something before Travis wakes up. It's something he'll never tell you himself, but I believe you need to know." With that, she opened the first album. Taylor leaned forward, and what she saw made her breath catch in her throat. The album pages were filled with pictures of a young Travis in football uniforms, some as small as 8 years old. At first glance, Taylor expected to see the proud, triumphant smiles of a boy destined to become an NFL star, but that wasn't what the photos revealed. In one photo, Travis sat alone on a bench, his small shoulders slumped, eyes fixed on his cleats. Donna pointed to it softly. That was after his team lost the championship game. He dropped one pass, and in his mind, that meant the entire loss was his fault. He sat there for 45 minutes, punishing himself for something no child should ever carry. Taylor's heart clenched as she studied the image. The boy in the photo looked achingly familiar. The same expression Travis wore even now after tough games, though as an adult he had learned to hide it beneath composure. "He was so young," Taylor whispered, her voice trembling. Donna nodded and turned to the next page. There, Travis stood with his youth team after a victory. The other boys celebrated, smiling and throwing their arms around one another. But Travis stood a little apart, serious and withdrawn, already analyzing what he could have done better. Even when they won, Donna explained quietly, he couldn't let himself enjoy it. He was already thinking about the next game, the next mistake, the next way he might disappoint people. Taylor was silent for a long time. Her eyes moved slowly from one photo to the next, her chest tightening as she realized what she had always sensed but never understood. Travis hadn't learned to shut her out. He had been trained since childhood to carry everything alone. Donna turned another page, and tucked between two faded teenage photographs was something unexpected, a small yellowed piece of paper. Carefully, she slid it out and placed it in Taylor's hands. "He wrote this when he was 10, Donna explained. "He never gave it to anyone, but I found it while I was doing laundry. I kept it all these years because I knew one day it might help someone understand who he really is." Taylor unfolded the letter, her fingers trembling. The handwriting was in pencil, the words uneven, some scratched out and rewritten. It read, "Dear future Travis, I hope when you grow up you find someone who thinks you're good, even when you mess up. I hope she doesn't mind when you feel sad about football and don't want to talk about it. I hope she likes the jokes you make when you're scared. I hope she knows that you try really hard even when it doesn't look like it. I hope she stays even when you're not the strongest person in the room. Love, little Travis. P.S. I hope she makes good cookies." Taylor's eyes filled with tears. The innocent words reached across time and struck her deeply. She whispered, "He was so young, and already thinking about being accepted for his flaws." Donna placed a hand gently on her arm. "That's exactly what I thought when I found it. And when I met you, when I saw your patience with him, how you never make him feel ashamed for being human, I knew you were the answer to that little boy's prayer." Just then, the sound of footsteps echoed on the stairs. Travis appeared in the doorway, hair tousled from sleep, wearing a Chiefs sweatshirt. He stopped short when he saw Taylor sitting with his mother, tears in her eyes, and the old photo album spread across the coffee table. Mom, what did you do? He asked, his voice a mix of confusion and alarm. His eyes darted to the letter still in Taylor's trembling hands. I showed her who you really are, Donna said simply. Not the NFL star, not the man who always has the perfect joke ready. I showed her the little boy who once wrote to his future self, hoping someone would love him even when he wasn't strong. Travis froze, embarrassment flushing across his face. Mom, you had no right. Travis, stop. Taylor's voice cut in, gentle but firm. She rose from the couch and crossed to him, still holding the letter. Look at me. He hesitated, but finally met her eyes. And in that moment, she saw it. The same expression from the photographs. Fear, hope. That desperate wish that maybe, just maybe, he wouldn't be judged for not being perfect. Do you know what I see when I look at these pictures? Taylor asked softly, gesturing toward the albums. I see a little boy who cared so much about doing the right thing that he carried pressure no child should ever feel. I see someone who grew into a man willing to drive across states just to show up for someone he loves. Someone who makes jokes when he's scared, not because he wants to hide, but because he wants to protect. Travis's eyes widened. He had braced himself for pity, for judgment, for awkwardness. But instead he found only understanding. Taylor lifted the letter. This makes me want to go back in time and tell that little boy his hopes will come true. That he will find someone who thinks he's good, even when he messes up. That he'll find someone who doesn't mind when he needs quiet time. Someone who loves him, all of him, even the scared parts. Travis swallowed hard. His voice was unusually quiet when he finally spoke. I never wanted you to see that. I didn't want you dealing with my baggage. Taylor reached for his hands, kneeling in front of him. That's not baggage. That's being human. Do you think I don't have my own scared little girl inside me? The one who sometimes feels like she's not enough? Like she's letting people down? But you're Taylor Swift, he murmured, as if that explained everything. And you're Travis Kelce, she answered with a small smile. We're both just people. People who still need the same things children need. Love, patience, acceptance. Behind them, Donna's eyes filled with tears. Her plan had worked better than she ever imagined. Taylor could hardly breathe. It wasn't just a letter, it was a prophecy. And somehow she had walked straight into its fulfillment. Donna cleared her throat, breaking the silence. There's actually one more thing, she said carefully, reaching into the bottom of the photo box. Travis immediately tensed. Mom, don't, he warned. But Donna pulled out a small, worn cassette tape, the kind that once came with toy recorders. On the faded label, written in uneven marker, were the words, Travis, age 7, song for my future wife. Travis's face went bright red. Mom, absolutely not. That was supposed to be destroyed years ago. Taylor's eyes widened with delight. Wait, what is that? Donna smiled mischievously. When he was 7, he watched a movie where the main character wrote a song for the woman he'd marry one day. Travis decided to do the same, just in case he forgot when he grew up. Taylor gasped, looking at Travis with sparkling eyes. You wrote me a song when you were 7 years old? I didn't write you a song, Travis muttered defensively, though a smile tugged at his lips. I wrote it for whoever I was going to marry. I didn't know she'd end up being someone who actually writes real songs. I have to hear this, Taylor said, her voice filled with excitement. No, absolutely not, Travis insisted. But Donna was already plugging in an old boombox. With a click, the tape began to play. The room filled with the scratchy voice of a 7-year-old boy, singing off-key but with unshakable sincerity. The lyrics were simple, innocent, and impossibly sweet, about hoping his future wife would like football, forgiving him if he forgot to take out the trash, sharing snacks, and letting her choose the TV channel. Taylor clutched her chest, tears and laughter spilling at the same time. By the time the song ended, all three of them were laughing through tears. The heaviness from earlier had melted away, replaced by warmth, joy, and the kind of love that comes only from being truly seen. Taylor wiped her cheeks and looked at Travis, her voice trembling with affection. That little boy, he got everything he wished for. As the laughter faded, Donna quietly placed the tape back into its box and looked at Taylor with a softness in her eyes. There's something else I need to tell you, she said gently, her voice lower now, almost secretive. Taylor tilted her head. What is it? Donna hesitated for a moment, then continued. Travis doesn't know this, but I've been keeping things about you too. Articles, photos, clippings, everything. Not because of the fame or the headlines, but because of the way he looks at you. It's the same expression I saw in that letter he wrote when he was 10. Hope. Fulfillment. Taylor's throat tightened. Donna reached over and took her hand. You've given my son something he's needed his whole life. The permission to be both strong and vulnerable. With you, he doesn't have to be only the NFL star or only the perfect son. He can be the little boy who was scared and the man who learned to carry the world. With you, he's finally safe. Taylor felt the weight of those words settle over her. It wasn't just love, it was home. You're saying, he's found a safe person, she whispered. I'm saying you both have, Donna replied with a knowing smile. Taylor's eyes shimmered with tears again, but this time they were filled with peace. She realized what Donna had truly done. She hadn't just shown her Travis's past. She had given them both permission to embrace it together. That night, as they drove back to Travis's house, Taylor gazed out the window, her thoughts swirling. She thought of the little boy who had once written a letter begging for love even in weakness, and the little girl who had once sung into a hairbrush, dreaming of finding someone who would love her songs. Somehow, against all odds, those two children had found each other. Travis glanced at her as the car stopped at a red light. Penny for your thoughts? He asked with a crooked smile. Taylor turned toward him, her lips curving softly. Just thinking how sometimes the best plans are the ones we make before we even know they're possible. Travis chuckled, squeezing her hand. Yeah, well, 7-year-old me was pretty smart. He knew cookies were going to be important. Taylor laughed, remembering the letter's final line. Good thing I perfected that recipe. Good thing you perfected a lot of things, Travis replied, his eyes shining. But honestly, I think 7-year-old me would have been happy just knowing you'd show up. In that moment, Taylor realized Donna's secret plan had done more than reveal the past. It had shown them both that their love story had started long before they met, born in the hopes and dreams of two children who somehow knew that someday they would find exactly what they needed in each other. As Taylor and Travis pulled into the driveway, the porch light glowing softly against the night, Taylor realized something she would never forget. Love wasn't just about the songs, the stadiums, or the spotlight. It was about the quiet moments, the hidden letters, and the forgotten cassette tapes that carried the voices of who they used to be. She understood now that their bond wasn't simply built on fame or chance, but on the unspoken promise that the little boy who longed to be accepted and the little girl who dreamed of being heard had finally found each other. And in that discovery, they had found home,